I can give you a push if you want. Oh, you're good.
Celebrated so many festivals. And today is Vikhrut Mahotsav, very special day. I think it was ending of the festival, like important thing. It's a sannyas day, huh? Paramvira day and Shiva Purnima. What else is separate?
What else is this celebrated?
Yeah, the disappearance of Vishnu Prabhu and sannyas of Paramvira day and Shiva Purnima.
Oh, not Vishrup taking sannyas?
Huh?
Vishrup not taking sannyas at this time?
Sannyas?
I can't remember if it's Sannyas Day or
Vikhrut Mahotsav, they say. No, disappearance of Vishnu. That's why shaving. That's why it's allowed to be shaved. Like Sanatana Goswami taught, Guru Purnima, this disappearance day, everyone shave. So Gurudev once said, we are supposed to keep fasting, refrain from shaving for 4 months actually. But because Vishnu Mahotsav comes, in the middle of Chaturmasya is after 2 months. So that's why we shave.
Some Vaishnavas take this keep for 4 months, huh?
Yeah. So it's not a very strict rule. If they want to keep 4 months, it's also okay. But 4 months is too big. 2 months is too big. Waiting for this day. Any question from yesterday, last night?
We wanted to hear more of the stories of Bharati Maharaj.
So, today I'm going to speak on the Tithi, today's Tithi, but we still have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 more days, so I'll continue. There's so much more on Srila Bhakti Thakur, much more on Srila Haridas Thakur, and of course Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj. So we will continue, I'll continue. Especially Srila Maharaj, last time is very heart-touching and very inspiring for sadhakas.
That series of on Visuddha Chaitanya, the series, that's all from you, right? Was it in Hindi? You translated or
Hindi.
Maharaj told these or?
No, it was compilation of his lectures. So Madhaprabhu, he worked very hard on this and he noted down all the important points from his lectures and compiled this book.
Like biography. It'll become book sometime?
Yeah, it's already book now. Vishnu Chaitanya Maharaj. Yeah.
It's already
I
book?
could have brought.
Especially
I could have brought. I was so
I've never
busy.
seen that book.
A big suitcase of all the books and distributed. Volume 1,
Of what?
You should have. The next one, or you can order.
Yeah.
Two important books. There are many. The two is like My Beloved Master.
Yeah.
Very
Volcanic energy.
So like Srila Maharaj is saying, he said, Diksha Guru gives mantras, but Shiksha Guru also gives mantras in the form of instructions. Instructions is also a kind of Diksha because Diksha means, the definition of Diksha is Divya Gyan Jadodana. Purjasya Pap Sanshay. Tasma Dikshayati Bodhita. So Diksha means imparting transcendental knowledge. So Guru gives Diksha in the form of mantras, impart transcendental knowledge, as Krishna did to Arjuna. many other cases, examples. But Shiksha Guru also gives mantras. So Srila Maharaj is giving account of, he received his mantras in the form of instructions from his beloved masters, his disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. For example, one example is when he was serving Srila Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj giving instruction, always became Ugra Shava, means associate with high class devotees.
Always what?
Associate with high class devotees.
Oh, you said it before that?
Ugra Shava. Ugra Shava.
Ugra Shava. Oh.
That's the name of Ugra Shava Sut.
Oh.
So that means one who is always associating with high class devotees. And don't give much emphasis on melodies, but go into deep into the meaning of the bhajan. So Maharaj said, I took this as diksha from him, as an instruction from him, and applied all my life. Very, very strict, following all instructions of disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So we'll hear more in these days. What's the question?
So you were talking about how, and I remember Gurudev speaking like this also, how Brahma and Prahlad, if they both joined inside of the body of Nitya Parikar, you cannot say that he is incarnation of Krishna, he is always associate. So if we take this idea, we can also apply to Advaita Acharya, he is also Nitya Parikar, Mahavishnu,
Yes.
but for then, if we get into Nityananda Guru, we cannot say like this. He is Sakshat Bhagavan.
No, he's such a person.
So where is this line drawn? Only those Braja those Parikars who are not from Braj, they are joining in with Mahaprabhu Parikars?
No, there's no any rule in that. Anyone can enter in anyone. But Baldev Prabhu, so Panchatattva Atmakam Krishna Bhakta Roop Sarupa. Bhakta Avatar Bhaktatham Namami Nati. Nityam Prabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. Shri Balaram ji and Shri Radha ji. No one can compete or no one can enter in that. They are like a next manifestation of Mahaprabhu. Whereas further, Advaita Prabhu is not directly from Mahaprabhu, it's from Shri Nityam Prabhu. Just like Mahavishnu is sent from Chaturvyuha. Vasudev Sankarshan for Vimaname Guru. It's not directly from Baldev Prabhu. So that makes a difference. I was last night also after lecture when I was sleeping, about to sleep, I was thinking about this and many other examples. Just like Panchaputra Sangye Nache Rai Bhavananda. So he's Pandu and he has 5 sons. So those 5 sons, amongst those 5 sons is Ramanand Rai. So Ramanand Rai is direct Parikar of Mahaprabhu, but Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi and Arjun is also in Shri Ramanand Rai. Arjun and Arjunia Gopi. Understand? Vishakha Sakhi, Arjun as Sakha of Krishna and Arjunia Gopi. They are 3 in Shri Ramanand Rai. Yes. That Arjun. That
also one Sakha Krishna.
No, not that. Arjun from Purushottam and Arjuna Sakhi. All in Shri Ramanand.
How we can understand this? Because Vishakha Sakhi is direct extension of Radharani, but still other personalities are joining.
That's the glories of Mahaprabhu because Mahaprabhu himself is doing one. He's Radha Krishna in one. So that's why Avatar is Sar, Gaur Avatar. Essence of all incarnation is Mahaprabhu. Nothing left in Gaur Leela. Whereas in Ram Leela, in Narsingha, in Ram, even in Krishna, there's something left there. Some moods to enjoy left there. But in Gaur Leela, everything is uncomplete. So, similarly, the associates of Mahaprabhu, just like Mahaprabhu, very glorious, so they are 2 in 1, 3 in 1, that's it. So that's the essence, accomplishment of every other what happened in any other incarnation, all completed in Gaurali. Shri Rupa Goswami Pad describes Upasya Bhed. Upasya Bhed means, Upasya means worshipable. How the differentiation comes with the worshipable, the differentiation in worshipable, Upasya. Means Vara Bhagwan, Nrsimha Bhagwan, Shri Ram, Shri Krishna, Mahaprabhu, according to their parikars. The Upasya Bhed, the differentiation in worshipable is according to the Upasak, according to their devotees, to their associates. That made the Upasya distinguished. Prahlad Maharaj worshipping Nrsimha Bhagwan. But what is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj? Jnani Bhakta. Therefore, when Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh killed by Nrsimha Bhagwan, they immediately didn't got liberation. Because Nrsimha Bhagwan exhibiting opulence, but not the sweetness. And that too depends on Prahlad Maharaj's meditation, his upasana for Nrsimha Bhagwan. But even though killed by Vara Bhagwan and Nrsimha Bhagwan, they got so much benefits. And because of those credits and benefits, they came as Ravan and Kumbhkarna. Now Shri Ram and Lakshman, according to the comparison, complete exhibition of opulence is there and some sweetness is also there. And that's why Ravan and Kumbhkarna, who was Hiranyakashipu Hiranyaksh, killed by Ram and Lakshman, they got more credits and more benefits. And that's why they became Shishupal and Dantapura and killed by Krishna, who is more sweeter and more opulent than Ram. And that's why Chaitryam Dehutum Jyotim Vasudeva. But even then, the demons killed by Krishna in Braj, they get Sarupya Mukti by Rupa Goswami. The demons killed by Krishna in Dwarika or with weapons, they get Sayudhya Mukti. So Putna is in a better position than Shishupal and Dantapura killed by Krishna. This is the difference. So this happened according to Upasya and according to the opulence and the sweetness of the Lord. Therefore the first verse, Bhagavatam, Satyam Param Dhimahi, meditating on Param Satya, the ultimate truth. So Vishnu Chatur Thakur gave a beautiful commentary. Who is termed as ultimate truth? And it begins with the Jivas. Is Jiva Satya or not? Of course. Jiva is Sanatana. Mame Vansha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhut Sanatana. Getting my point? It's hard? Okay, keep on hearing. Jiva is Sanatana, but not Param Satya. It's Satya, but not ultimate truth. I'm not going details into this, we have short of time. But then he comes to Jiva Satya. How about Maya? Is Maya Satya or not? Yes. Shankaracharya philosophy says Jiva Satya, Jagat Nitya. Jiva Satya, Jagat Nitya.
Brahma Satya.
Brahm Satya, Jagat Nitya. Brahm Satya, Jagat Nitya. They say Jagat is Mithya, is false. No. This Jagat, from the Vaishnava philosophy perspective, this Jagat is also Satya, because it's extension of the Lord. Virat Roop. Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna inside Virat. That's material world. So, This is also Satya. Maya is Satya. Then it describes Paramatma. Is Paramatma Param Satya? No. But Paramatma is Satya, but not Param Satya. Why? Because Paramatma has no role to play, only witness. That's all. Paramatma is not displaying any pastimes. It's not killing demons. Paramatma is not stealing butter, etc. It's only witness, full of opulence, but not Param Satya. Brahm. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Satyati. Brahm means the fullness of the Lord. Is Satya or not? Yes, but not Param Satya. The example is given, Brahm is just like a wealthy person who has so much opulence, but he don't show his opulence to anyone else. He just keep his opulence hiding. That's Brahm. So it's Satya but not Param Satya. Understand? Paramatma Satya but not Param Satya. Then Narayan is Bhagavan, is Satya, of course. Is Vilas Vigraha of Krishna, is Satya but not Param Satya. Why not? Because complete exhibition of opulence and no sweetness. Madhurya is absent. Distance between devotee and the Lord. So everything is count in terms of the Lord, in terms of Bhagavan. Everything is count according to the reciprocation with devotees. Everything is count according to the reciprocation of the devotees. When the distance between devotee and Lord, then it is complete opulence. Even Bhagavan is termed as Aishwaryamay. Of course, all Bhagavan is Aishwaryamay. But what is the point of comparison? Point of comparison is because of the devotee. The distance make him Aishwarya, not Madhurya. Then Shri Ram. Opulence is there, some sweetness is also there. But again, not Param Satya. Why? The reciprocation of devotees is there. But that reciprocation of devotees is with on reverence. There is some reverential mood there. Means again some distance. Hanuman serving day and night. No one can serve like Hanumanji. So Hanuman is present in all Leela. In Ram Leela, in Krishna Leela, in Gaur Leela. He never leaves Lord. He is always serving Lord. So much service, no? But Hanuman can't sit on the same seat as Sri Ram. He can't embrace Sri Ram. He can't take remnants from his mouth like this. Some etiquettes are there. Some reverential mood is there. Some distance is there. So this is Upasya and Upasak. Understand? Hanuman is Upasak. Upasak means worshipper. And Sri Ram is worshipable. The distance is there. Then Krishna in Dwarika. Opulence is there. What is opulence in Dwarika? Can you tell? Where Krishna exhibits his opulence. Expansion in 16,000 forms to reciprocate with his 16,108 wives. And the opulent part here is he is doing different activities in different palaces. So he's not restricted to the term called yogi. Yogi example is given as Sabri Rishi. Sabri Rishi is yogi. He expanded himself in 50 forms to marry 50 daughters of King Mandhata. Expanded 50 forms. But the original one, if raise his left hand, then all raise his left hand because they are synchronized. If the original one scratched head, then everyone scratched head. But Krishna, it's not like this. He entered each and every palace of 16,108 queens and is doing different activities. In one palace, he's worshipping Devaki and Vasudeva. Other palace, he's getting served by Rukmani. The third palace is specifying the man of Satyabhama. Fourth palace, He's playing with his children. All different activities. He's not yogi, but he's Yogeshwarena Krishna. Tasa Madhya Devi. Shukdev Goswami addressed Krishna as Yogeshwarena. Means one who is worshipped by the yogis. But Krishna is not yogi. He is worshipped by the yogis. So in Ras Leela, he expanded himself. So Shri Shukdev Goswami saying, Ras Utsav Sampravarto Gopi Mandal Mandita Yogeshwarena Krishna. Krishna who is worshipped by the yogis. Why? Because he expanded himself in so many forms. That's the difference. So Dwarka Krishna, Satya, but even not Param Satya. Because again, there's a distance between his wives, his devotees and Krishna, Yadavs. Distance is there. Even though the wives have so much love for Krishna, but their love has some foundation, some reservations there. They were not willing to give their food dust on the head of Krishna. There's the opulence. See, the distance is there. It's so minute and one-pointed. Then comes Krishna of Braj. What is the distance there? He's dancing with all the gopis. Where's the distance? He's dancing with Radharani, he's serving Radharani. Where's the distance and where's the reservation? He entered in the heart of Radharani. Where's the distance? So close. And therefore, even though complete opulence, but covered by the complete madhuri, sweetness. And that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Madhure Bhagavata Sa. The essence of Bhagavata, the Lordship, is in sweetness, not in the opulence. What is evidence? Madhure Bhagavata Sar, where it is been seen, Braj Koilo Prachar. It is seen in Braj, Vrindavan. Taha Shuk Vyasera Nandan. And who described this? Vyasera Nandan, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami. Here is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Krishna in Braj, Radha Raman, Radha Madhav Krishna, Radha Govind Krishna. That Krishna is Satyam Param, Param Satya. All other incarnations are Satya but not Param Satya. Dhimahi, meditating on that Param Satya. But what is meditating? Just the artificial fake form. A beautiful boy, young boy, teenager, dark complexion, wearing pitambar, yellow outfit and flute and peacock feather. Fake. So Dhimahi here means meditating on the service mood. What service mood? Anupulena Krishna Vishnu. This is the essence of the Vastu Nirdesh Atmak Mangalacharan of Srimad Bhagavatam. Means subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam is said right in the beginning. Those who are going to read, start reading and hearing, this is what is comprised of. This is the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Meditating on means developing that mood which is favorable to worship, to serve Shri Radha Krishna. So, Upasya Bhed is according to the Upasak Bhed. The differentiation of worshipable is because of the differentiation of the worshipper. Everything depends on the worshipper. That's the difference. That's time.
8:25. Hari Hari Bol.
We'll hear more tonight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.